All right. Well, hello, and welcome everyone to our BG5 Live. Great to have each of you here with us today. Today is August 2nd, 2022. This is episode 167. And today we're taking a look at retreat. We're taking a look at trait 33. We're going to take a look at the revelation of secrets. So that's what we're going to be exploring today. So before we dive in and get started, let's say hello to our panel. So let's start with Anna. So Anna, welcome.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. Glad you're here.
Great to have you on board. And we have a very special guest. We have a couple of innovators with us today. So it's really great to work with innovators and that really have that impact. And I would love to introduce everyone to Andy Rogers. So Andy, welcome. It's great to have you join us here today.
Thank you, Karen. Hi, Anna. It's wonderful to be here. Yeah, I'm a 5-1 innovator, this year a BG5 consultant. Very excited to be here.
Yes, and Shelley's on vacation for a couple of weeks, so we invited Andy here to join us, and I want to do a special shout out and a quick happy birthday to both Anna and Andy. So both Anna and Andy have celebrated their birthdays in the last week. So happy birthday to both of you. So again, it's really a gift to have both of you here as well. Well, excellent. And for all of you that are live here in our Zoom room, we would love to hear from you as well. If you have trait 33 in your career design, or if you know someone and have a story that you would like to share about trait 33, or if you have 13 on the other side, when we take a look at how you get affected when you're connected, we would love to hear from you as well. So when we get to that point, please feel free to raise your hand. Also, if you are in our Facebook Live, again, we would love to have you comment. You can also comment in our Zoom room. Also, please feel free to comment as well if you're listening via the recording via YouTube or in our free resource library. So great to have you all here with us today. All right, so we're in August. Can you believe we're already in August? This year has been just flying by. So as we dive into taking a look at trait 33 and the revelations of secrets, before we dive in, let's kind of take a look at what April. Where did April come from? Begins with an A. Let's take a look at what August has for us. So when we take a look at August, after we are in trait 33, we are going to be moving into purpose fulfilled through bonding, through connecting with others, through collaborating. So this is the very last trait. This trait 33 is the very last trait of purpose fulfilled through form. And if we take a look at August, August is about after reflection. So today we have the reflection, the retreat. This is about privacy. This is the revelation of secrets. This is the last trait of expression that we're going to be taking a look at. Remember, all 11 traits of expression in communication and action in the throat are all in purpose fulfilled through form. So we're going to be moving out of purpose fulfilled through form next week. And so in August, after reflection, the ability to successfully lead others into the future through logic, perseverance, connection, and hard work. So next week, we're going to be taking a look at trait 7. We're going to take a look at the leader, the established proven pattern that leads us into the future. We're going to then take a look at formalization in the 4, which is youthful folly, the logic that protects us from misfortune. We'll take a look at perseverance in the 29, saying yes, the persistence despite difficulties has its inevitable rewards. We also have achieving union with the 59, bonds and intimacy beyond words. And we have deliverance in the 40, the power and the will to deliver. So again, as we move into purpose fulfilled through connecting and bonding, you can see it's about leadership, it's about folly, it's about saying yes, it's about connecting, and it's about working, and the power to deliver. So that's what we'll be taking a look at and exploring this month, as we dive through and explore the month of August. So again, we are in just a moment. We're going to start with retreat. One other quick thing before we dive in, I did mention this last week, but we did have a directional shift. If we take a look at the past and future direction, it's been in the 2343, which has created a definition for several months now. And in Saturday, it shifted to the 2 and the 1. So you'll notice that there's no longer definition there, and we're taking a look at this creative self-expression in the 1. We're also taking a look at the driver and the receptive in trait 2. So I don't know if Anna or Andy, if either of you recognized any shift or any difference yet. I was gonna go to a cafe and listen for everyone and when it shifted, and I totally forgot until after it had happened. But I'm just curious if either of you have felt the impact, and you may or may not have noticed many. I don't know that I've noticed it so far, but I'm just curious to hear if Andy or Anna, if you've noticed this shift in the background, the past and future direction, the shift from the 2343 to the 1 and the 2, if you've noticed anything yet.
I noticed it was subtle. It wasn't real dramatic. I was in a group call,
Mm.
and it ended maybe an hour before this shift happened. But I noticed, I don't know if it was the 33 influence, I'm not quite sure everything, but it was very active. And then at the end, which sometimes is more lively than not, there was just this more nothing to say sort of
Mm.
energy. It just sort of, the call ended a little bit early.
Mm.
No problem, no nothing dramatic or anything. I just thought, oh, I wonder if that's the shift start, really taking place. Because sometimes you feel the energy before the actual moment.
Right. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. I've noticed for myself, and I know we also moved into retreat as well. I was talking with Anna and Andy, feeling like, oh, I'm a little tired. I'm ready to just retreat, and and so maybe it's also that piece too of kind of stepping away. I haven't been feeling as much like talking as much either, which is interesting. I have found for myself as well. Anything you've noticed, Andy, in that shift?
Well, just after the time of shift, I went to a football stadium for the first time in my life, like American
Oh,
or
really?
Canadian football. So I don't know how many thousand people and total sensory overload. And I couldn't compare it to previous. It was the first time I've been. Um, yes, I certainly felt a shift, but that was because of circumstance. I went from my basement suite to a football stadium and back. So um, I think I've noticed. I noticed today my eating habits have changed. I don't feel like eating very much. More like fasting or going on
Mm,
a juice fast or something, cleansing. And if I guess that would make sense for retreating.
mhm.
Um, and I've been supporting a friend who needed to retreat from a sudden personal change. I've been supporting her for a day and a half. So that's been my perspective. And yeah, I felt like it's been a time of retreat and um, learn.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting if we take a look here, it actually it just moved into trait 33 in quality 1 when it also shifted as well on Saturday. So it's kind of that combination of retreat along with that shift as well, which is maybe hard to distinguish. What was the cause or how you're experiencing it. So Very interesting. Yeah, as we go through, if there's any of you who experience the shift or have any perspective, we'd love to hear from you as well. It's always really fascinating especially when we've been in a background frequency, the past and future direction, where it really creates a definition. We've been in an environment that creates a definition, and then you move into an environment that doesn't create a definition, how that shows up. All right. So let's dive into the 33. Take a look at what the 33 is all about. So today's theme, the 33 is about retreat, and it can be active withdrawal and the transformation of a weak position into a strength. We'll also take a look at what grounds. If we take a look at what grounds the 33, we can see it's the 19. So in a sense, it's also taking care of our own needs. So oftentimes in retreat, we do need to withdraw. We do need to take care of ourselves, take a look at what we need. And this active withdrawal and the transformation of a weak position into a strength, oftentimes, again, when you're tired or exhausted, sometimes that retreat is necessary for you to regain your strength. And in regaining your strength, you can move from a weak position into a position of strength. This is also the wisdom and experience is shared through the voice of remembrance. So this is the voice of I remember. So this is ultimately, we've gone through the process. It's part of the abstract experiential circuitry that is set up with beginnings, middles, and ends. And you come to the end and you learn the lessons and the secrets that that whole experience has given you. And this is the voice of I remember. It's the voice of the authority. It's also, when we take a look at a small group, this is also the voice of oversight as well. It's privacy. This is the revelation of secrets, right? So on the 13 on the other side is the listener. Often it's the collection of secrets in the 13, and the 33 is where ultimately the secrets also get to be revealed, but get revealed as lessons learned. Something that can shape the way that we see the world based on past history, and how we ultimately remember how things happen and what we learned from what happened. This can be the moment of uncertainty between the completed experience and the new one. This is the pause in between the cycles. Again, the cycles of beginnings, middles, ends. And often the 33 is right in between the ending and a new beginning. It's that sort of space in between that allows you to learn the lessons from the past in order to move forward into the next cycle. And it's a pause. It's a pause to reflect on what happened, and it's determined to take forward and it's to determine what to take forward and to renew your strength. So again, when we complete a cycle, it's not necessarily taking everything with us. It's taking a look at, okay, what do I need to fully complete this cycle? What are the lessons that I learned that I can take forward? And what are those things that I can let go of? And time, when the most valuable lessons will come to the surface and also reveal their truths. Right. So same thing with the revelation of secrets. It's also where the valuable lessons are fully learned from that particular cycle and reveal the truth of what was learned in that cycle. And it's all about timing. This is a projected strength, meaning that it has to be recognized. It has to be invited in order to share what you remember, what you've learned. And so waiting for the right timing to share the secrets of what you remember. And once again, this is oversight within a small group. So this is the ability to be, in a sense, the eyes and ears of the organization or the small group to make sure that everything is running smoothly. All right, so this is the 33 of retreat, and both Anna and Andy have it in their design. Andy has it in his communication. Anna, it was just your birthday, so this is also a part of your life work theme. So we're going to start with Anna in this being part of your life work theme, and I would love to hear how this 33 shows up for you.
Yeah, very interesting. Over the years, I've learned much more about this. And part of what I relate to more so now is that we're in the time of Leo, we're in the midsummer, we're in the sun, we're in high frequency sun energy. And one of the things that I relate to is the process of ripening. When you think about the sun, permeating, radiating, it takes time, it takes that heat, it takes that light to ripen something. And if you pick it too soon, it doesn't have the same flavor, whatever it is, whether it's a peach off the tree or you try to publish a book or something before it's time, and you try to have a conversation before it's time. I always think about light and dark and the timing of that cycle of a day or a year. And this process of ripening, because as I've experienced this, it's not just retreats for privacy, which of course it is. I relate to that very much. But it's also a retreat from the intensity of the light and moving into a dark zone, not a negative, just that sort of a little bit more rest in comparison to bright light. And that process of going through a full cycle from light to dark, light to dark, light to dark, over repeating that. And even if it's an apple on a tree or something like that, that ripening process still needs the dark in order for the whole thing to happen. And the timing to have that peach or the apple or whatever it is kind of fall in your hand rather than pulling on it or picking it too soon so you deliver it somewhere. So that's one of the things I think of. Of course, yeah, I tend to be kind of a private person, selective. You can see I have the two, so that I'm also a hermit. I like my privacy, but more so, sometimes I'll just go through old journals, go through the photo file, go through memories, just that reflective time. And again, the sun, you need the sun as well as the moon to be able to reflect, to have things come in. This to me is an energy of emergence from dark into light and then going back into dark. So I liked my retreating time. Yesterday was my birthday and I was very quiet. It was very sweet. I was very happy. And I was reflecting. A year ago in 2 days, I was done with chemo and radiation.
Wow.
I had no hair. I lost 30 pounds. I was sick and a wreck. And yet, all the things that happened in the healing of that experience really carried out through the whole year. And I was just very, very grateful and reflecting on all of what transpired. And people that came and went in my life, experiences, the enrichment, the ripening of not just that process, but it was a sort of a culmination of a whole bunch of decades and
Wow.
reflecting on what all that means. And now I can write about it. Now I can share some of that. Now people are asking me certain things. It's like, okay, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready.
Yeah. So so coming to that time of sharing the experiences and sharing the secrets of your journey. Yeah. Thank you so much, Anna. And how about for you, Andy? Andy, you have this in your communication. And again, you just recently celebrated your birthday as well. So I'd love to hear how the 33 shows up for you.
Yeah, interesting. It hadn't dawned on me before. I have it in quality 6 in communication and thinking. And on a very literal level, I have been involved with the retreat center for many years, helping run
Mm,
it. I was the treasurer. So seeing what pieces of information to share or not about the finances. And most recently, I've been on the communication side, uh, editing, blogging on behalf of the center. So it was very natural for me to write blogs based on insights I'd had at the retreat center, either in retreat or from the teachers there. And it was very much a case of uh, sharing, not I am teaching you something here in this blog, but look, this is the kind of insight you could enjoy if you do this. So
mm,
yeah, very natural for me to communicate that. Um, and then on the personal level, so I've experienced it in the last few days, helping hold space for someone going through a difficult time. Definitely feels very natural to just hold that space and help them not be hard on themselves and get those
mm.
little nuggets of insight. Uh, yeah, and in terms of private, I don't know if this is related, but in terms of the privacy, those are the moments when I feel like I'm good at keeping secrets.
Mm.
And those are the moments when it feels okay to like share a secret. Well, actually, this person we both know told me this last year, and because it helps in that moment, that's when it matters, not as a bit of gossip or over dinner, but when it helps someone else, I'm pretty sure the other person would be okay with me sharing that private moment
Yeah.
in a time of retreat when insight and healing and revelation can happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful example, Andy. And again, how fascinating that that you actually work at a retreat center as well. And that's part of what you communicate. Yeah, pretty amazing.
Mhm.
Beautiful. And I'm curious if there's anyone who is live in our Zoom room that also has the 33 that would like to share. Yes, Lori. Let me allow you to talk here.
Hi. I have it's my uniqueness is in the 33. And I find that after every experience, I have to withdraw and review it in my mind and put it into order and really pull away from outer activity in order to make sense of it. And
Mm,
um and as a result of doing that, and then I can go back out again, but I really need to assimilate. It really has to come in. And as a result, I've developed kind of a scary memory in that I remember everything because I've reviewed it a couple times. Like I'll remember what I wore to kindergarten the first day or something. So I believe that that comes from this pausing to reflect and really assimilate experiences. So I find it's pretty critical to do that.
yes. Yeah. Beautiful example, Lori. And I think this is a time for many of us. You know, we've been busy, and it's very interesting that this is the very last trait in purpose fulfilled through form. And so again, we've been experiencing all of our experiences through forms, and this is an opportunity to take that time to retreat, and how important that time really is to make sense of it all. And oftentimes in the busy world where we're go, 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 and there's so many things, it's hard to take that pause. It's hard to take that rest. It's hard to take that retreat. to really take in everything that you've learned, and recognizing and realizing how important it really is, because that's what allows us to fully complete the past cycle so we can move forward powerfully into the next. Yeah. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lori. And let's go to Leanna. Hello, Leanna. Welcome.
Thanks, Karen. Hi, everyone. Happy birthday, Anna and Andy. I just wanted to reiterate the relational part of trait 33, which I do not have, but one of my best friends has it. And I just wanted to say that I have witnessed when she has had the bigger experiences she has had. So whether it's been like she's actually run a retreat, or she's been away somewhere, or she's had a big weekend, the need to retreat, just as the last speaker shared so beautifully, the need to retreat is so strong for her. And what I have learned in my relationship with her was that it confused and in some way wounded people around her, because she didn't put any words to doing it, because she wasn't really aware, that she wasn't conscious. It's her conscious core essence, but she wasn't consciously aware in that way that she was doing it and had a need to do it. And she also was then, therefore, because it was so strong in her, not aware of probably that other people didn't do it or how it would impact others. And I found that another friend of ours got very wounded, and then would kind of talk to me about that this friend didn't care, because she would be really engaged with us, and then she would drop off. And when I learned BG5, it was so beautiful to be able to teach her and support her verbally. I'm always reminding her that about this trait, and how important it is for her. It's like, it's so vital. And I loved hearing, that aspect of how you examine what you've just been through. You really allow it, you really assimilate it. I've never actually even put that word to her retreating, so I can't wait to share that with her. But I just wanted to add that relational piece. If anyone had found that before, that people didn't understand, or now that being able to communicate that to people around you. Oh, I'm going into my retreat, or because now I find it a really beautiful dance to watch, because I understand it now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Leanna. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about BG5 and human design, is not only does it help us understand ourselves, it also helps us understand others as well, and give people the space that they need, right? Especially if this is their core essence, just like with Anna, giving them the space to retreat when they need to retreat, and know that, for them, there's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with me. Yeah. So just recognizing that that's something that is really important and that they do need. We do have two innovators here. So one of the things, and she may or may not be an innovator, but one of the keys to the innovator is informing. And oftentimes, for example, if you feel like you need to retreat, sometimes just informing others, whether you're an innovator or not, everyone likes to be informed. Informing others that I need this time. I just need this time to retreat, and knowing that there's nothing wrong. Like I mentioned in earlier, that in our busy lives and with so much doing, sometimes we don't give ourselves the grace to be able to pause, to be able to retreat, to be able to look back, to be able to remember. And action is just as or inaction is just as important as action. And that's part of this active withdrawal and the transformation from a weak position to a strength. That, again, when you're feeling that weakness, to be able to retreat, so that you can regain your strength, but also informing others that, okay, this is my time to retreat. And so they don't make things up. They don't make it wrong. They don't make you wrong, or you're not making them wrong. So understanding that in others is quite powerful as well.
I'd like to add something there.
Yes.
I'm glad you both brought that up, because as an innovator, it is really important to inform, and you get pathologized. You know, when I was a kid, I was emotional. I'm emotionally defined. And so I was moody. I was given that nickname. And sometimes, yeah, I was crabby and moody, but more so, I needed that time to withdraw. Didn't know how to say it, didn't understand my design, but that just being able to say it, even if you're not an innovator, just being able to say, I just need some time alone, or, you know, this is fruitful, nothing's wrong. Yesterday I was sort of in reverie, and my son came up to me and said, "Are you okay, Mom? Are you mad?" I was like, "Oh no, I'm not mad. I'm just very internal, and I'm actually having a good time." So sometimes people don't know how to read that.
Right.
And so if you help them out, it's like, "Oh no, I'm just kind of in my own sphere here." It is a relational. I'm glad you brought that up. So the two work together.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes. Thank you so much, Anna. And Lori, I didn't know if there was something else you wanted to add.
Oh, I did. I find this discussion really helpful, because when I'll be in an experience with people, I'll all of a sudden feel like I cannot process one more molecule of energy or time or anything. And it's really hard. Leanne, what you said about not understanding and informing by the other person. When I was younger, I wouldn't know what to say. It would come on me so fast. I just have to walk away or get away. And I've learned now to say to the people, I have to have a few minutes with my meditation cushion or something, you know, to ease that. But this is really helpful to know how it feels for the other people. But it is like there's no more space inside of one to take in anymore. And there has to be, you know, it's like we're full, and then you have to go and process, and then you can go back. So it's really helpful.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that, Lori. Yeah, really clear. Beautiful. Excellent. Well, let's also take a look at the other side of the 33 and taking a look at how you get affected when you're connected. So this is the shadow of the 33, or what if you don't have the 33? Because currently the 33 is activated. So what are some things to pay attention to when you don't have the 33? And particularly if you have the 13, you'll notice that the 13 is on the other side of the 33. And especially if you have the 13, but you don't have the 33. So I have the 13, but I don't have the 33. So the shadow is the lack the ability to share the secrets that you have learned. And so, you know, Andy was talking about this as well. You know, you many of you can keep secrets, but there are secrets that, in a sense, need to be shared because they're of value to others. And so you may know lots of secrets, but keep them all to yourself. Or do you know valuable lessons that could benefit others, but you also keep those to yourself? So the problem is that you have the ability to uncover secrets. The 13 is the listener, and it is about secrets, and it's listening to the secrets. So you have the ability to uncover secrets and learn important lessons through experience. However, you may lack the ability to express these important lessons, and your secrets may never be shared. Right. Or sometimes I find often I have a lot of secrets, but then I don't share them. I don't reflect on them. I don't ponder them, just like what Lori was saying, and they just disappear. And so it can be great wisdom lost in not spending the time to retreat and process those secrets. And they just simply remain secrets. So the solution is you're designed to work with others who can draw out your secrets so that they can be shared with a broader community at the right time to contribute to humanity's understanding of itself. And so, again, these are the secrets or the deeper wisdom that can only be, in a sense, brought out through that contemplation, through that awareness, and the secrets that can also help others in dealing with situations that they may be going through. When we're taking a look at a small business, the 13 represents accounting. And oftentimes accounting is the secrets in numbers of the business, but you need to know how to read those secrets and express those secrets and understand the secrets that the numbers are revealing. And for example, if you take a look at a business, right, if you don't reveal the secrets that the numbers of accounting show for you, right, you could potentially go out of business because, for example, the secrets may be that you're not charging enough, or that you're charging too much, or a product isn't selling and you think it should sell. And so you order more of it and spend lots of money, but it's not selling, right? These are some of the secrets that are within business that if these secrets are not revealed through the numbers, it may end up costing you in the end. And so this is another way, especially from the business perspective, to also take a look at revealing these secrets as well. So I'm curious to know if there is anyone here in our Zoom room, live in our Zoom room, or on Facebook as well. If you have trait 13 of the listener, but you don't have trait 33, and how that may show up for you. Or Andy or Anna, if you also see what, if you've recognized the connection that you have with someone who has trait 13, and how that also potentially shows up as well.
Well, I'm looking at Facebook with one of my eyes, and I see that Shirley has shared, she has the 13, and she has trouble sharing her knowledge even when she knows it can help others.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Shirley.
Yeah, thank you, Shirley. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of the shadows of not having trait 33 is not being able to share those pieces that can be of value to others. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Shirley.
One of the things I've recognized again over the years, I was a psychotherapist for many years. So, that dynamic of listening to people and hearing their secrets and bringing things to light, the whole process. But one of the things I've learned, especially since I understand, BG5 human design, is, and just recently talking with you, Karen, sometimes the 13 they absorb the secrets of others, but they don't always have the platform or the witness, being witness themselves to say, I'm listening, because the 33 has that light that can be shined. It has that retreat energy that's not bombarding. It's more, well, here, come on, come out, tell me a little more. So there's that relational element that Leanna was talking about, that sometimes the 13 just needs an environment to be able to bring those secrets, those comments, those things in your heart you didn't know what to do with, and what their value was.
Yeah. Yeah, speaking of relationships, because I have, because I do have the 13, sometimes there's things like, for example, with my husband, sometimes it's like, I didn't share something because I took in the secrets, I kind of, watched it, but I didn't process it. I didn't reflect on it. I didn't go through anything. And then it's not until he says something that I go, oh, now it's like, why didn't you tell me? It's like, I didn't even think of it. Right. It's not that I was, quote unquote, trying to keep it secret. It was just, something that I experienced, something that I witnessed, something that I learned about, but I didn't even think of being able to express it or think of being able to share it. And oftentimes it's not until you're connected with someone else that even is something that you even think is of importance. And then once you share it, people go, oh my goodness, why didn't you share this a long time ago? It's like, I don't know. I didn't think of it. And once again,
That's
it's
where
not
the timing. That's where the
right.
yeah.
Right. It's part of the timing. And again, that's the solution, is that you're designed to work with others who can draw the secrets out of you, that can be shared to a broader community for the right time to contribute to humanity's understanding of itself. But otherwise, if that's not drawn out and the timing's not correct, again, that's where a lot of wisdom can then also be lost as well. Yeah.
There's another comment on Facebook, if I may,
Yes, please.
from Deanne. She has a 13.5 and she can share, but it's usually only when someone is in distress. So a certain situation and timing.
Mm-hmm.
But she tends not to most of the time for fear of ridicule or rejection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Deanne.
Yes. Thanks, Deanne. Yeah. And again, that can also, again, it all comes down to the right timing and it being drawn out of you at the right timing. So again, those that have trait 13 can be a wealth of secrets, a wealth of understanding, a wealth of knowledge, but it never gets out. It never gets communicated unless they're connected with someone who has the 33. And again, this is also the beauty, because we are designed to work with each other. And when the 33 can also draw that out, it ends up being a win-win for everyone, right? A win for both parties involved. And this is the beauty. We're not designed to do everything, right? We're designed to do what we're designed to do. Each of us only has 13 conscious and 13 unconscious traits. We only have 26 traits total. And so that's really what defines our brilliance and what we are here to do and what we're designed to be. And everything else is, in a sense, a way for us to gain wisdom or to see the outside or to depend on others versus trying to do it all ourselves. I know that's I'm collaborative. It's one of my biggest shadows, is trying to do everything myself and realize that we're designed to connect. And when we connect in the proper way, there's the right timing that, again, allows us to reveal the secrets, that allows us to share with each other, that allows us to learn from each other as well. Really beautiful. All right, we're going to wrap everything up here in just a moment, but what I would love for our panel to ponder is, what are some things to pay attention to in these next few days as we continue to be in retreat in trait 33. And so also, again, if you are wondering, do you have 33 in your design? Do you have 13 in your design? You can go to our website at bg5businessinstitute.com. You can download a free chart. You can also download a free report as well to find out a bit more about yourself. You can watch past episodes in our free resource library. You can also watch them on YouTube as well. And we invite you to check out our courses coming up in September. So the BG5 Foundation Course is the perfect place to start. So if you are brand new to BG5 and human design, this is a great way to get a foundation of what all this information is about and to really understand it at a deeper level, both for yourself, to understand yourself better, but just like we were talking about today, also taking a look at how you're designed to connect with others and how to also understand others as well. So you don't take things as personally, either making yourself wrong and bad or making others wrong and bad. When you really understand your design, when you understand the design of others, right, there's much more room for compassion and much more room for understanding. Excellent. All right. This is what I'd like to do to wrap everything up. So I would love to hear from our entire panel, and I would love to hear, what are some things to keep in mind, or what are a few things to pay attention to, especially over the next few days, as we continue to be in the trait 33, this trait of retreat. Andy, would you like to start us off? Again, thank you so much for being here. It's such an honor to have you join us. So thank you for being a part of our panel and so much for your contribution. So I would love to hear, what are some things to pay attention to in the next couple of days?
Thanks, Karen. It's my pleasure once again. I think what I've seen over the last couple of days is what I'll share, that when we retreat, this is a time to be kind to ourselves and heal. And the mind can go to what we did wrong and kind of beating ourselves up. So to watch for that voice, that's not the helpful voice, that it's natural, and don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up, but to remember to be kind and to let that voice go in this time of retreat, and instead take the time to be kind, or the self-care, and let the insights come. It's not necessarily stuff to be figured out with the mind. It's a time to relax, allow the spaciousness, and trust that the useful insights will come.
So beautifully said, Andy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excellent. And again, thank you for joining us. And let's go to Leanna.
Sorry. My phone was in my pocket. I'm looking out at the sunrise. Yeah, I just love listening to Andy, to be honest. I just got lost in that. That was beautiful. I just got activated by Andy. I was just what I thought about when I'd listened to him speak, because obviously I don't have retreat. So what I feel is around not just noticing when you have these urges or have these needs to ask for, but to actually ask for what you need, or to even place it in the field. So for example, learning this information, but then applying it. So let's say that this week, you just might want to retreat a bit more. You might want a shorter day at work. You know, it's not affecting the team. You know, it's not affecting the project. Can you ask for that? You know, could you experiment, obviously using your decision-making strategy, and experiment with asking for what you need around when you are activated, as opposed to just keeping it private and something that maybe you allow to be expressed through your personal life, but maybe you feel you don't have as much permission to let it activate you in your professional. And where we are going with the era of the individual, you know, how that difference, the two versions of you are disappearing, so that it's going to be that authentic expression of you, and work is an extension of you. So that's something that I'm actually practicing this week, is I'm honoring that the need to retreat, or something is too much for me, is to actually bring it to the team that I work with in an authentic way. And that's a whole new experiment in itself. Because there's risk, or there's, you know, we don't usually do this in the era of planning. We wouldn't be bringing our individuality in such a big way necessarily, but the background frequency is growing, and here it is. How do we want to use it?
Yeah, beautiful, Leanna. And one of the things that's very interesting about what you said is, I mentioned this briefly, is that the trait 19 is about needs, and recognizing our own what we need, and the needs of others as well. And so recognizing, in a sense, it's what grounds retreat. So recognizing what we need and being able to ask for what we need. And sometimes what we need is that period of peace, of retreat, some privacy, in order to recalibrate, in order to take things in. So thank you so much, Leanna. Excellent.
Pleasure.
And Lori. Yeah. And Lori.
I would say for all of us to just notice when we're feeling overwhelmed or weak. And even if we withdraw and do nothing, we'll notice our strength building back up again. So just to be aware of that. And I had an observation about the change in the background frequency. I don't know if that would be
Yes, please.
appropriate time to share it. I went on a hiking trip this weekend with 2 groups of 3 friends who didn't know each other. And on Saturday morning, everyone just sat down on the floor in the inn where we were staying and started sharing with each other. And they were talking very actively. And I was so happy that everyone was getting along. And then the moment the frequency change happened, someone said, "What are we doing sitting here? Let's go." And everyone kind of looked shocked, but everyone kind of got up, and everyone was in their own world and started thinking about, they shared later, what they were going to do in the coming week and their creative projects. So it seemed very, very abrupt and very, very marked, the change that people are really starting to go in now and think about how they're going to express themselves.
Wow. Very cool example. Thank you so much for sharing that, Lori, and being able to be aware of it and to recognize and to see that shift. That's really cool that you're able to experience it in that way.
Yeah, it was super abrupt.
Wow. Wow. Very cool. Thank you so much, Lori. And thank you so much for your contribution. Really been huge today. So thank you. And let's wrap everything up with Anna.
I like what everyone said, because it's easy to get overwhelmed. And if you allow that and take care of yourself, not pathologize it, not make wrong, it's just an organic process. But one of the things I'm thinking about right now is that it's personal, but it's collective. And it oscillates between those 2 things. You're out in the world and you're busy and getting stimulated by all kinds of things. And then it needs to go personal and private. And then you whatever, defuse, and then you come back out. So there's this rhythm to it. There is timing to it. It's both things. And maybe sort of watch that rhythm, what your personal experience is with the 33, until the transit's done.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful, Anna. I'm really glad you brought that up as well, because again, this is a trait of sharing, but at the same time, the retreat sometimes has to be real personal before you can share, to take that time to take care of yourself, to have that moment of pause, to be able to contemplate and make sense of everything that you have been experiencing. Beautiful. Well, this has been an amazing discussion. Thank you to each and every one of you. Again, thank you, Andy, for being our special guest. And again, happy birthday to both Andy and Anna. Really great to have both of you here. And again, Lori and Leanna, always a gift having you on board and sharing your experiences. So retreat, take care of yourself, ponder the mysteries of the universe, and be willing to share when the timing is right, the lessons that you've learned. All right, everyone. It has been our absolute pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Happy retreating.